Hi, my name is Tati and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog for Project Hail Mary. Not too long ago, I found the book at my library bookstore for $1. So I bought the book and I was like, that would be really fun to, read the book and then go watch the movie so that I could have like a little bit of knowledge and be up to date on like what's supposed to be happening in the movie. And then afterwards, we can do a little compare and contrast moment. A lone astronaut, an impossible mission, an ally he never imagined. Ooh. Ryland Grace is the sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Except that right now he doesn't know that. He can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment or how to complete it. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very, very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home, with nothing but 2 corpses for company. His crewmate's dead, his memories fuzzily returning. Ryland realizes that an impossible task now confronts him. Hurtling through space on this tiny ship, it's up to him to puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery and conquer an extinction-level threat to our species. And with the clock ticking down and the nearest human being light years away, he's got to do it all alone. Or does he? So that sounds kind of fun. When I saw the preview for the movie, I was like, oh, that looks cool. Like, that looks like a movie I would want to go see. And then I realized, like, there was a book. I was like, wait, I've seen that title somewhere. So then I was able to get the book. So I am very excited to like read the book and then go watch this movie. I am a couple of chapters into it. Also, that's the first time that I've read this blurb. So I'm on chapter 3. I didn't know that he did not know who he was. I'm sitting there reading like, bro, imagine you wake up in this just white room and you don't know who you are. You don't know where you are. There's 2 other people there and they're dead. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. This week, it's spring break. We're going to go stay in a resort in Orlando. So this would be ample time, just free time, just to read the book. Mind you, I have never read any sci-fi book before. I wouldn't call myself like a really science fiction enthusiast. This is kind of outside of my normal realm of entertainment, which contributes to the fact that I don't really know what I'm in for. Like, how does sci-fi normally end? Do it be having happy endings? Is it like expected that the end of a sci-fi is kind of sad or makes you think, or is like uplifting, encouraging? I don't know. So we're about to experience this journey together. But like I said, we are about to hit the road, so I just got to gather the rest of my things. And then my family's going to come pick me up and we will be on the road. Okay, so we just left, but we had a little bit of a delay because our first rental car had a oil leak. But now I'm going to look at this bookmark that we got for Black History Month at our library. They had like a bunch of these and I picked up like 3 or 4 of them or whatever. And then there was like Black History Month stickers, which I put on my laptop.
Roman numeral 7 days, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I take it, things and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I take it, enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with the fire. Hey, Roman.
Hey, guys. Long story short, I've been a bad girl, okay? Just so you know, it's been 2 weeks since that last clip. And in this time, I've learned a lot about myself. And one of those things is I can't read on vacation. I can't read if there's another person near me because I'm a yapper. I can't help it. All of a sudden, another person that I know, not just a random stranger, but another person that I know personally is near me. Now everything's interesting. The color of the walls, other people walking around. Like, I have so much to say. And I can't focus on reading. But since I've been back, I have had my nose in this book. And oh my gosh, I'm loving it. I'm almost to the halfway point. But this book is surprisingly funny. Ryland's commentary is just like, it's very funny. And it's very my type of humor. Kind of like sarcastic, but to yourself. I'm sitting here giggling. Like, he be saying certain stuff and I'm like, bro, where did you get that from? This is making me a little bit nervous for the rest of this book because, I mean, obviously he's out there to save the world, like save humanity. So like it can't end well for him. But like I want it to. And him and Rocky, like that's my best friend now. So I'm not prepared for whatever is going to happen, but I like the book so far. Look at me, my first sci-fi book, and I'm really enjoying it. Mr. Andy Weir, pretty good writer. He said I should be more culturally sensitive, but he threw shade when I talked to myself. I was like, bro, what? Yeah, I'm having a good time, so I'm gonna keep on reading. The movie has been out for over a week now. Listen, I don't want to, miss the movie in the theaters. Now that I have the alone time to read the book, I am getting through it a lot faster. I went to the beach the other day and I knocked out 2 chapters in a row. And this is a book with long chapters. It's like every time I finish a chapter, I'm like, all right, time for a nap. Even though I'm enjoying the story, it's just something about 20 pages in a chapter. But that's crazy because A Court of Silver Flames had long chapters too, but I think the difference between those is that one is the 5th book in a series. So I'm already in the story. It's like being in the middle of the movie. Like it don't matter how much time I got left because I'm already invested in the story. But this is literally starting from square one. And I have a hard time starting books as it is because them beginning pages is usually, for me, it's like the first 100 pages are a slog to get through, and it really don't matter what the story is. Them first couple of pages when you're trying to establish the world and everything that the situations that they're in, hate that. And that's a me problem because I'm not a fan of change in general. So starting new things, the beginning of new stuff, I don't really like to listen to new music. I have a hard time starting new TV shows. I really don't like to watch movies I haven't already seen. So every time I pick up a book, it's like that experience over and over and over again. But the more I read, the more I'm getting through that. And now that I'm currently at chapter 13, we're getting towards the middle of the book. We're getting out of that like beginning. Who are we? What are we doing? Where are we? Like, what's it about? We're past that now. So the momentum is really picking up. That's my update. I will chat with y'all when I get further into the book. Okay, first we're going to take a moment for the skin. Moisture. Yeah. Okay. Now, y'all. Chapter 26, y'all. I have 50 pages left. I'm loving this book. I'm loving it. All of the science talk in this book, at first I was like, bro, come on. Like, that you're doing a lot. But the more I read it, I'm like, it's not too much. It's not too sciencey. It's like he starts to get into like sciencey nerd talk and then he's like, y'all don't need to know that. Just know that whatever I'm doing is working. I'm loving that. Yeah, book, mad funny. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go to the movies and see the movie, so I just gotta read these last 50 pages. I was like, I'm gonna put it off to tomorrow, but I'm kind of I'm on a roll right now, so we're just gonna keep reading until I fall asleep. Y'all, we at the movie theaters, and I'm excited for this movie. How do you feel?
I think it's gonna be a bare minimum movie.
I think she's gonna be proven wrong. I hope she's. If this movie. I hope this movie is better than the book. But at least once in my life, I want to be the person to be like, the book was better. Okay, so I just went and watched Project Hail Mary last night, and I needed the night to, sit on my thoughts, okay? Because last night, emotions was high. Adrenaline was rushing. I'm going to just give it to you straight. I'm going to say the book was better. And I have never said that before. The only other time I read a book and then watched the movie was in school. We did Chronicles of Narnia, and I still think the movie is better. And then we did The Outsiders, and I don't remember either one of those. I don't remember which one was better. But as far as Project Hail Mary goes, the book was so much better, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm gonna give you what I liked about the movie and then what I didn't like about the movie. So the first thing that I liked about the movie was the visuals. That movie was beautiful. The planets, like the lighting, all of it. Like that movie, it was a pretty movie. Gorgeous. I also really liked the relationship between Grace and Rocky. They portrayed that very well. Like the banter that they had was pretty faithful to the way that it's written in the book. Oh, okay. And then the last thing that I would say I liked enough for it to stand out to me is Grace's character. In the movie, he's a lot more funny and outgoing, I would say, than he is in the book, which I think is a plus. He had a lot more personality, a lot more snark. I really liked the portrayal that, what's his face? What's that man's name? I keep wanting to call him everything. The actor, what's his name? Not Bradley Cooper. I want to call him Bradley. I want to call him Douglas. I want to call him everything. Ryan Gosling. I liked Ryan Gosling's portrayal of Dr. Grace, which is something that I was a little wary about because my sister, she don't like Ryan Gosling. She's not a big fan. So she kept putting it in my ear or whatever, oh, he's just going to be Ken. Oh, he's just going to be Ken. And I'm like, girl, this movie is nothing like it's not going to be nothing like Barbie, so why would he be Ken? And then I went in there, and she said she was kind of getting Ken vibes a little bit. I wasn't. I thought he was a very good Grace. So now let's get into what I didn't like. First of all, I feel like this movie took all of the heart and feeling out of the story in favor of like more action-packed scenes. And I feel like the movie was way too long for it to not have nothing in it. I would say that we skipped all of the information parts, all of the relationship building, all of that got thrown out the window. And what we got instead was really pretty visuals and jokes. I liked what they did with the agent guy and his relationship with Grace. So we were off to a good start, but then by the time we got on the ship and he started to, like, his memory started to come back, we just kind of like brushed past all of the character building, especially of like the secondary characters, to the point where when I guess this is gonna have spoilers. This is gonna be a little spoilery, okay? I feel like when we got to the point where the astronauts died, there was no feeling, no emotion. They didn't even mention the secondary astronauts' names. So when when Shapiro and Dubois died, nothing, like there was nothing to be felt there because we hadn't spoken to them. That man had said 2 words since the first time we'd seen him on the screen. None of it mattered. They didn't explain a single thing in this movie. And you would think, okay, so they didn't explain it, they were going to show you visuals. No. They just kept showing like the results of stuff happening. So I feel like the most important part of the last third of this movie is the effects of breeding the Tati Amiah. The movie skipped all of that. So when I went into the movie, I thought, clearly we're not going to be inside of Grace's head, so he's going to have to verbally explain everything that's happening and how he's coming to his conclusions. And then the robot started talking, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll have the robot explain all of the like sciencey stuff that the audience needs to know in order to understand what's happening. Halfway through the movie, none of that's happening. He's just doing stuff, albeit a little confused, which is realistic. If I were just all of a sudden waking up on a spaceship, even if I had all the science knowledge and I didn't know where I was, I would be banging stuff too. So they did make Grace a lot more realistic in that way, but we don't know anything about the ship. We don't know how the ship works. We don't know how, like, they kind of sort of explained how astrophage works and what it's doing, and the fact that the astronauts need to go to space to find a cure for this astrophage problem. Fine, we got that. One thing I liked about the book is that Grace and Rocky would encounter a problem and they would figure out a solution together, but encountering that problem shows us, the reader, the viewer, that this is a problem and what the consequences of said problem could be. And the fun was in watching them fix that problem. So once they get separated at the end and that problem arises, you automatically know this is bad. I know exactly what the outcome of this is going to be if he can't fix it. So then it makes his whole returning back to Rocky even that much more special. And in the movie, they just took all of that, balled it up, tossed it out the window and said, the power of friendship. Like, as a reader, I know that the Talmiba got out because now it can eat through Xenonite. People watching the movie don't know that. They just know the Talmiba got out. And I guess maybe that's not that big an issue. I think that had I not read the book, the movie would have just been like, oh, that was fun, a fun one-time watch. But like reading the book first made it so it was like bro, there's no explanation for anything. None of the supposed to be high impact emotional scenes had any weight because they didn't do any of the relationship building or the information dumping that would be necessary for you to form your own connection to those characters or to the issue that they were having. Overall, for me, this movie is like a 3.5, 3.75. It was very fun. It was very funny. It was way too long for what happened. I was in that movie theater for about 2.5 hours for them to explain 0 things to me. But I did laugh, and I did think Rocky was cute. They changed a couple of things. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's just like their relationship was the only thing that I felt like was true to the story. And I just feel like the rest of the story was taken out in favor of funny banter and pretty visuals. That's how I feel about Project Hail Mary, the movie. Project Hail Mary, the book. Love that. That was 4.75 stars. I would say no notes except for how long it took me to get through the book. And that was simply because, for one, like, this is my first sci-fi book. It took some getting used to how the story is written. And then also them long chapters, y'all. Long chapters and there's no kissing. Like, that's tough. What is there to keep me engaged? Once I got about halfway through, I was like, oh, I'm in there, swimwear, yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like the video if you liked it. Have you seen Project Hail Mary? Have you read the book? What did you think? Did you think the movie was good? Did you think it was just okay like I thought? Let me know down below, and support a Black-owned business, baby. Subscribe to my channel. Bye!
If I was your girl.